Dear friends, welcome to another episode in the fantastic military world. In this video, we will talk about a serious alert issued by nuclear regulatory agencies. Iran has the capability to produce enough nuclear material to build 6 nuclear bombs in just 1 month. On Monday, February 5th, Mohammad Eslam, head of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran, the Iranian government body responsible for the development and construction of reactors and nuclear research centers, an entity that, according to various sources, is responsible for Iran's secret military nuclear program, announced that Iran has begun construction of a 4th nuclear research reactor in the city of Isfahan, the location where one of Iran's main nuclear research centers with 3 reactors is already operational. According to Iranian state media, this reactor with a power of $10 million will be used for experiments and for the production of radioisotopes and radioactive derivatives for the medical and pharmaceutical industry. The announcement of the start of construction of the 4th nuclear reactor in Isfahan came a few days after Mohammad Eslam himself announced the construction of another reactor, this time in the south of the country, in the city of Sirik, a gigantic reactor with a capacity of 5,000 MW. Despite Iran categorically stating that it has no intention of producing nuclear weapons, all the facilities and nuclear centers that Iran operates at the moment, and especially the barriers that Iran is imposing on the International Atomic Energy Agency to visit and inspect these facilities, reinforce the thesis that the Iranians' objective is indeed to produce nuclear weapons and become the 2nd nuclear power in the Middle East, after Israel. And as you can imagine, one of the greatest difficulties in the production of nuclear weapons is to have nuclear fuel in quantity and purity sufficient for use in nuclear power plants. Uranium must be enriched to a maximum of 5%. However, for the production of nuclear bombs, the enrichment level must be over 85%. To reach this level, large and complex uranium enrichment facilities and many nuclear reactors are necessary for the production of important elements such as plutonium. Therefore, if a country really wants to have nuclear weapons, it will need 2 basic types of facilities: large uranium enrichment plants and gigantic nuclear reactors. Precisely the facilities that Iran has been building for years. Constructions that, as I have shown, here have been greatly accelerated in recent years and months. The Iranian government itself recently confirmed that it has enriched uranium stockpiles to 60%, which means that theoretically, it is perfectly capable of enriching uranium to over 85% or 90%. According to a report released by the Institute for Science and International Security, citing data from the International Atomic Energy Agency, Iran, using known uranium enrichment facilities and using only part of its stockpile of enriched uranium at 60%, is theoretically capable of enriching uranium to 85% in just 1 week, the uranium needed for the construction of an atomic bomb. If all the enriched uranium stockpiled at 60% is used in 1 month, Iran will have enough material to produce up to 6 nuclear bombs. The report also says that if Iranian enrichment facilities operate at full capacity, in 5 or 6 months, Iran will have enough material to produce another 12 nuclear bombs. Despite the Iranian government's denials, this has been Iran's main objective since at least 2018, when then-President of the United States Donald Trump abandoned the Iran nuclear deal signed in 2015. According to that agreement, Iran pledged to maintain uranium enrichment levels always below 4%, thus limiting its use only to civilian nuclear power plants. However, Trump, alleging that Iran was violating the agreement, ordered the United States to withdraw, leading Iran to accelerate the development of enrichment methods and to build even more centrifuges to cover up these operations. The Iranians create major obstacles and delays for the inspection of their facilities, and when they finally allow inspectors to enter, they block entire areas, granting access only to certain sectors. For years, Israelis have accused Iranians of developing nuclear weapons, with Israel even actively working to at least delay this development work, such as the attack on November 27, 2020, which killed Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, seen at the time as the main person responsible for Iran's military nuclear program. But even with international sanctions and sporadic attacks by Israel, Iran's nuclear program continues at full speed. For Iran, having nuclear weapons will completely change its dynamics and presence in the Middle East. As everyone knows, Iran is the country that finances the most terrorist groups in the world, such as Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas and Islamic Jihad in the Gaza Strip, the Houthis in Yemen, and various pro-Iranian groups that operate mainly in Syria and Iraq. With Iran using these groups to indirectly attack its three biggest adversaries in the world, the United States, Israel, and Saudi Arabia, to avoid direct retaliation, Iran always takes great care not to leave fingerprints on these attacks, also taking due care to ensure that the attacks do not cross any important red lines that could lead some of these countries to directly attack Iranian territory in response. However, from the moment Iran has nuclear weapons in its arsenal, they will be much more at ease to attack their adversaries, as they know that if Iranian territory is directly attacked, Tehran's response may come in the form of nuclear weapons. Therefore, the simple fact that Iran has nuclear weapons at its disposal will greatly increase the level of terrorist attacks in the Middle East. As from that moment on, the world will know that a direct attack on Iran could trigger a nuclear war in the Middle East, with the potential to quickly spread throughout the planet. And that's why Iran so desperately needs nuclear weapons. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe and activate the notification bell to not miss any news, criticisms, ideas, or suggestions. You can leave them in the comments.